Hello there, today we're going to be looking at something that has been a little bit tricky in the past, but Photoshop CS5 makes a lot easier, and that is selecting hair. Now I was required to have a photo, a colour photo for a job application, and I didn't have one, so I decided to take this, and it's a perfectly fine photo. You've got some nice depth of field going on. The eyes are nice and sharp, and we've got some nice catch lights in them, which is always good. And you know, the depth of field is really nice, and it's a good photo. The light's quite good coming through the window. The only problem is the background. Obviously we've got this black thing here, and obviously these pictures here, and obviously we don't really want those. So we want to completely get rid of them and maybe paint on a new background so it almost looks like it was taken inside a studio. So to do that, we're going to whiz over to Photoshop. I've already done some editing adjustments on this, as you can probably tell. We've got down here in the layers palette a hue and saturation one, so I've just taken the saturation right down to -48, so we've got some of the colour loss because I'm not too big on colour. I prefer to live my life in black and white. And also we've got a high pass filter, which I discussed in my last video, just to sharpen up the image. So good, we're good to go and get rid of this distracting background, and then just have me in there. So I'm going to select the background layer, and I'm going to just be lazy because the beginning selection isn't too important. I don't want magic wand, I want quick selection tool, and just pump up the brush size, and then click. This is quite a good tool because it automatically remembers what you've clicked on, and then it will jump, and it already makes a pretty good selection like so. So that's our selection done. So we've selected me, and now what we want to do, obviously because we're going to be selecting hair, we can see up here that you know, it's going to be a very rough and iffy selection, and so you just want to fine tune that and get it spot on. So to do that, we're going to right click whilst on the selection and click Refine Edge. This will bring up a different window completely. Now I like it on this white on black because we can see then the individual hairs, and we can see it's a bit flat and it's not really hair-like. There are other options in here like overlay, where again you can see it, and other things. I like black on white. Everyone's going to be different. So this is our Refine Edge tool, and this is how we're going to make the hair more hair-like. And so first off, we need to click Smart Radius, and you want to select a radius that's not too big but not too small. Around 2 and 4 is fine. You can play around with these, but again, just smoothing is, you know, feathering is kind of important for hair. Other than that, you don't really need to do a lot with those. The next one's really important. We always want to decontaminate colours. Basically this just removes any kind of colours that shouldn't be there. It just cleanses them and makes it look more natural, which again is also important when you're selecting hair because you don't want background in the way. And output to layer with a mask is absolutely fine. So now again, I'm just going to make this brush a little bit bigger, and all we're going to do is paint around the hair, and you'll see it selects it, and now it looks, compare this to this, you know, that obviously looks a lot more like hair. So we're going to do the same this side, just paint around it, and again that looks more like hair. Now we can just do this on the entire image just to get a nice selection. There we go, cool, done. And then just press OK. And it's not perfect because it's a demonstration, but it's fine. And then it will do its thing. And there we go. So that's our selection there. I'll just bring in the background. So, just going to go to the brush tool here. I've selected a nice grey colour, as if it was in a studio. Make sure you have the background layer selected, because we're going to paint onto the background layer. And then just start painting on your layer of grey. Like so. And we'll see that it looks pretty good. You know, the hair is nicely selected here. there's no obvious big chunks missing. Obviously, if you're going to do this a bit more and refine it a bit more, you'd sort out the problem with the shirt here where a bit of shadow came in, and the ear as well, but that looks quite okay because of how the lights worked, so that's fine. So we've just painted over the background again. This line around the shirt could be a bit dodgy, but that's okay because the next thing we're going to do is crop it so it's just me. I'm just going to press Shift on the keyboard. Where's the little box gone? Just keep the box square. Ooh, I hate when it does that. Now I can't move it. Sometimes I hate Photoshop. Shift and get it back to the image. And then we'll just move this so that the wall of thirds just kind of covers my eyes. And there we go. That's your selected hair photo, put on a nice studio-esque background, and that's pretty much all there is to it. So you make a selection, click Refine Edge, and then just do it. And that's all there is to it. Very easy, very simple. If you like this video or want to have more tips and hints thrown in your direction, please subscribe to the channel. You can also find me on Twitter and Facebook by searching for Josh Lewis Photog, all one word. And keep an eye out for some Photoshop basics that I promised that will be on the way, and that'll be looking at adjustment layers and these fellas in here to try and help you get the best out of Photoshop without having to know too much about what goes on behind the scenes. So thanks for watching, and hope you have a lovely day.